But I think sometimes to say the magic is gone from a sport is a lazy way of looking at it, because I think it's built in nostalgia rather than like
Yeah.
appreciating this like level of football that's in front of you, the skill of football. Like those European nights are still really big for a lot of clubs. Like as an Arsenal fan, it's great to be back playing like top European football after so long. So uh, and in fairness, I actually haven't read the piece yet, so I could be totally off mark as to what he is saying. But just as a general concept, I'm not sure how much I agree with it.
Yeah,
The problem is you've so many teams that are so dominant in Europe that like they can kind of like I agree with Kathleen to the extent
But
that
you
like
say that, but like, look how long it took City to get to where
yeah
they did last season. And like, I know it seemed weird last season because they went on and they won so many trophies in one season, but like, that was Pep's big thing. It was year after year, he was like continually failing to achieve this one thing. And then he finally did it. And I know we get kind of bored of the Man City rhetoric and narrative in general because they are so dominant. But like, there's nothing to say that that wasn't a once-off year, and someone's going to come along this year and be the team that breaks Man City's hearts once again. We just don't know. So
yeah. Look, like one argument for the competitiveness of the Champions League is that who's retaining it. Like there's a different winner a lot of the time. But I think it's funny enough. What was kind of a good summation of modern Champions League was in Ted Lasso, when Ted himself is very confused. It's like, it's called the Champions League, right? I was like, well, how many teams are in it? And is it
Well, it's a complete misnomer.
Roy Kent is like, well, yeah, you like, it used to be the champions of each league, and then Ted's like, but you can come fourth. Again, the champions like, yeah, and they're all like sheepishly, the people in the know being, yeah. And then Ted's like, why? And then there's silence,
this
and then
money
Roy
or
Kent goes,
something.
money.
yeah.
And it's a really good summation of it. And like, that's not even being cynical. It's just objectively true. And like, the other thing as well is, if you're unhappy with the number of games in the Champions League now, look away for next season, because there's 4 more teams being added to it. Like, there's going to be another round of fixtures. So there's an awful lot, and it is like a kind of a picking and choosing element. I think not just for people who work in the football industry or media in general. I think for fans, it's like picking and choosing what you're going to watch, because there's a game on offer every single night. Like, in the last couple of weeks, the Asia Cup's been on, the Africa Cup of Nations has been on. It's tough to get to watch that as well, along with all the domestic football that you're trying to see.